At 9:48 a.m., Clayton police officers responded to a call for a gunshot wound, possibly self-inflicted, in the 7100 block of Wydown Boulevard. The residence of Missouri State Auditor Tom Schweich.
Breaking news tonight on ABC 17 News at 5. About 45 minutes ago, Clayton police wrapping up a press conference on the death of State Auditor Tom Schweich.
The Clayton police chief says Schweich died of an apparent suicide with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This all comes just weeks after Schweich announced he was running for governor in Missouri.
We have live team coverage tonight at the Capitol in Jefferson City, where state lawmakers held a prayer service this afternoon, and in Clayton, where Schweich was found wounded in his home. Let's start with ABC 17's Dan Messinio, who was at the press conference and is joining us live from Clayton. And Dan, what are you hearing?
Yeah, Daniel, Clayton police officials say that all signs indicate that state auditor and gubernatorial candidate Tom Schweich has died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, police officials say it happened at Tom Schweich's home here in Clayton shortly before 10 this morning. Officials say one other person was in the home at the time. Paramedics were called out to the home for a gunshot wound. Emergency crews briefly treated Schweich at his home and then rushed him to an area hospital where he was pronounced dead from a single gunshot. Officials could not confirm at this point Schweich's motive or if there was a suicide note. Police say that information is pending a further investigation. Police officials here in Clayton say that an autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Reporting live in Clayton, Dan Messinio, ABC 17 News.
All right, thank you very much, Dan. And Schweich's autopsy, as he said, scheduled for tomorrow morning at 7:30. Schweich, though, is the highest-ranking Republican elected official in the state, behind Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder. He leaves behind 2 children and his wife, Kathleen, who was home when she heard the single gunshot go off. Schweich had a quite amazing career, starting with an Ivy League education from Yale and a law degree from Harvard. After a lucrative career as a lawyer in St. Louis, he started a career in public service. He was the chief of staff to former ambassador to the United Nations, John Danforth, along with the two following UN ambassadors, Ann Patterson and John Bolton. In the second term of the Bush administration, he became the second highest-ranking international law enforcement official in Afghanistan. President Bush accorded him to the high rank of ambassador. Upon returning to the U.S., he was elected twice by Missouri voters to the state auditor's job, first time in 2010. In 2014, Democrats did not nominate a candidate to run against Schweich, and he coasted to a re-election. And just last month, Schweich announced he would run for governor. Tom Schweich, dead at the age of 54 years old.
And here's a look at some of the American flags at half-staff for the state auditor after the governor's order. Just moments after Tom Schweich's death was confirmed, both Senate and House members met on the House floor for a vigil.
ABC 17's Ashley Strohmeyer was at that vigil, and she's joining us live at the Capitol outside Tom Schweich's office. And Ashley, you say the reaction from Missouri leaders was, as we would have expected, very quiet.
Daniel, I'm on the first floor of the state capitol and right in front of Tom Schweich's office, which is right there. And you are exactly right. The vigil was extremely quiet. Governor Jay Nixon was there along with Speaker Deal and Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder. Now, the vigil only lasted about 5 minutes. Everyone who was in the Capitol at 1:45 gathered in the House chamber. Senators, representatives, and staff all came in for a short prayer. Now, keep in mind the prayer vigil took place about 5 minutes after it had been confirmed Auditor Schweich died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. People even cried. After the vigil was over, I tried talking to leadership in the House and Senate, as well as someone in the governor's office and the lieutenant governor. They all declined to comment on camera, but several people sent a release commenting on Mr. Schweich's death. Along with the Speaker of the House, Senator Kurt Schaefer of Columbia said, quote, "I have known him for many years as a friend and a political associate. His dedication to fair and admirable public service will be sorely missed by his colleagues in the state of Missouri." Those words echoed by most here at the state capitol. Reporting live at the Capitol, Ashley Strohmeyer, ABC 17 News.
Thank you, Ashley. Coming up on ABC 17 News at 6, we'll have crews live at the Capitol explaining what's next and who will fill the vacancy left by Tom Schweich's passing.